क्या आप दोनों पूनम पांडे की मौत के बारे में सोचते हो?
Just because it's hard doesn't mean it has to be valuable.
Rajveer, come on.
You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy.
First, he just goes up to a girl and that's the first thing he says.
Either
Hey, listen. Friends, no. Never.
Volume negates luck. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's bad. What the fuck is wrong with it, bro?
Hard work beats talent.
Are you happy right now in this state of life? Success doesn't lead to feeling good. Feeling good leads to success. Just because it's hard.
You are not the center of the universe.
थोड़ा heavy हो जाए?
अच्छा.
तुम मौत के बारे में सोचते हो?
अच्छा.
भाई मैं बहुत genuinely बहुत stupid हूँ भाई.
दिल से निकला वो तो था.
Do you guys think you're in the lonely chapter right now? So guys, welcome back to the 9th episode of the Productive.
Procrastination.
Podcast.
As you can see, थोड़ा change हो गया है lineup and I
मैंने
am
गलत कैमरा में बोला वैसे.
I am one of the main hosts and main host for today, and I will be asking a few questions. Today, what are we discussing about, Rajiv sir, if you want to elaborate?
For the small part of life that we have lived as 20-year-olds, what have we learned in our lives अभी तक?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. 20 years and at least 20 lessons I think we might have learned combined if we speak about our lives and all the hardships that we may have gone through. But we would like to keep this very raw. This
Yeah.
episode, I think we'd
Yeah.
like to speak about instances that we might have gone through, and in a way, if we have learned something from it, hopefully, if you guys experience something along these lines, you might be able to take something off out of this episode. So it's going to be a chill episode, but it's also going to be very deep at the same time.
Chill deep.
It's a chill deep episode. Man, our jokes are really bad.
Sorry, it's an inside joke.
No, it's an inside
They don't know.
joke.
They don't know.
Context here, hoga, guys. But yeah, this little change makes it feel weird, guys.
Yeah, it's actually very good. I feel like I'm some fucking host right now. But yeah.
With popular demand, by popular demand, Mr. Apur has got
Apura for the solo angle.
the hot seat solo angle, popular
If
demand.
it's still recording.
Yeah.
I hope it's still recording. Chalo.
All right. Let's begin,
Alright.
guys.
अपने दिल से निकालो some lessons if you want. If you have.
Bye. All is well. Chal.
Chalo. One lesson I'd like to share first.
Oh,
Arz kiya hai, arz kiya hai.
Go, sir.
Arre, sir.
There's one quote I learned which is stuck with me, and it says, "Loneliness is a tax you have to pay to atone for a certain complexity of mind." So right now, when you're in that lonely chapter, when you feel that nothing is working out right now, and you feel no one has a support, oh, you're not coming to the party tonight. Oh, you don't want to eat some McDonald's today. You just have to realize that this is the part, and this is what hard feels like. What do you guys think?
That's very heavy, bro.
Do you guys think you're in the lonely chapter right now?
I think personally, I would say no. I don't think I'm at that Sigma lone wolf stage of my life at this point. I have been at the stages, like I've gone through that stage in different parts of my life.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm not. I would say that it's not a stage that I prefer. It's not a stage that I prefer to be in. So I would in fact not like to pay the loneliness tax, as you said. If I could avoid it, if I could find a way out of it, I would. I completely agree with what you said, though. I think the journey of trying to reach your perfection stage or trying to become the best version of yourself, I think it is a very lonely journey.
Yeah.
Because you have to give up a lot of things. You have to give up people that are holding you back in a way. You have to give up plans. You have to give up so many things. You have to make so many sacrifices, right? So it's definitely it's way more difficult, painful to make it and do it by yourself. So I completely agree with you. And it is a stage that I am not in currently. But what about you? What do you think, Rajveer?
I think currently maybe not, but yeah, there are times I've felt that.
Yeah.
I guess there have been times we have all felt that.
I think I'm still going through the lonely chapter because I feel, I mean, it might be very egotistical for me to say, but that complexity of mind part, to atone for a certain complexity of mind.
Yeah.
It's the stage where, no offense to my friends, but you feel like you don't fit in with your old set of friends, and you're not that capable enough to fit in with the new set of friends. So you're just stuck there in between, just all alone, just going through the struggle.
Do you think you have to change? Do you think they have to change to still be friends with you, or do you think you can still love them the way they are, no matter how they are, your old friends?
I mean, if they would have to change, are they really my friends? You understand?
But do you have? And if you have to change,
I don't have any
are you
regrets
really-
with my friends. Like, I don't think that I have to like. It's that I don't fit in with them. I love my friends to death. Well, not to death, but I love my friends, right?
But you don't relate to them in a
Yeah,
way
it's
because
just-
they're not on the same path as you.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the part about friendships. Like, you don't have to relate to them all the time. It's just that you both have to respect each other's directions and goals and their purpose. And they are choosing a certain lifestyle, you are choosing a certain lifestyle. And you both, there's a mutual respect for each other's that time and that thing. But you don't have to force other to go your way or them forcing you to go that way. You have to lay down boundaries there, I guess.
But are they really friends if they're not together with you, like ahead in life? Because the good friends were supposed to come, like, be with you through every stage in your journey, right? And you should be with them. And if you don't have that, if you both of them don't have the same complexity of mind, do you really think it's worth it to be friends?
Thinking of this, I have this analogy, like you know how a rocket ship works, right?
Yeah.
I think that it has many different parts. The single ship. Now, when the ship has to take off, it requires all of these parts because all parts serve a specific purpose.
Yeah.
But as the rocket is constantly moving upwards, it has to detach a few parts from itself in order to reach a different level of the orbit. It has to continue. But that doesn't mean, okay, so the orbit, suppose there are like 5 parts of the rocket, it's reached the next horizon and it has to detach one part and it ends up being a 4-part rocket. But that doesn't mean that 5th part was useless, right? Just because it had to be detached, it doesn't make it useless because it served the purpose to reach up till the first orbit. And then after that, you have to keep on detaching yourself from people. Like, as you said, your friends, you might let go of a few friends that you have, but that doesn't make the
Them
impact
useless.
that they had in your life any use. Like, it doesn't make that useless because they did play a role in your life at that point in your life. Like when you were in 11th, you might have had a few friends who you will not relate to today because you are a very different person. But in 11th, they played the role they had to with that Apurva, right? So that it adds some value in a way, is what I feel.
So, what I was saying earlier was more like, if suppose a friend of mine wants to serve for the country, so they choose to go in the army or air force or something. One friend of mine wants to become a director or a filmmaker. They're choosing the other path. I'm doing this course.
They're allowed to have different perspectives, what you're saying.
We all have realized over time that we have different purposes. We want to do different things. But we can always come together and have a good time and go back to our daily thing. No?
Yeah.
So and if it can happen that way healthily without interrupting that army wali ka routine.
But Raji, not understanding, it's a certain complexity of mind. It's the people you
don't fit in with the people all the time.
Because they're like, oh yeah, we should go drinking tonight. And like,
especially when it's the majority of the group.
And you're like, I just want to edit videos right now for the podcast.
Because I have some work.
Yeah.
They're
like, oh, you're going now. You have work now, right? Oh, you're not coming with us now together.
But are they really your friends?
That's the question.
That's the question that he's asking, right? If they're not supporting you on your grinding journey, are they really the ones you should still have? I don't know. That is a question.
Something to think about.
That is something.
I would lay down boundaries there, but I'd still call them friends. Unless and until the point that they are absolutely forcing me to do something and mocking me for choosing something else.
But
Makes sense.
But you know that it's wrong in the long run. As if, let's just take an example here, a hypothetical situation where your friends are inviting you to drink tonight, and it's not just once a week, it's like every day because it's the last year of college, for us actually. For us, it's the last 2 months of college and all, right? And you're like, no, I actually have to work. Like, I have a lot of work. Like, oh, now you have work and now you're not prioritizing us and all. You don't spend time with us. And that kind of is like, are they really your friends? That's what I'm thinking about.
They're right to feel that way, but it will get lonely. Yeah, it gets lonely.
Yeah.
But then, as you said, you are not there yet. But if you just keep pushing, because you will eventually, if you are going in a certain direction, you will find people who have the same mindset as you. You just have to bear that, and it is a necessity that loneliness have to.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Ki, you're not that capable enough right now to fit in with a new set of friends because you've not done the work. And the only thing you can do is you do the work.
That's a good lesson. Yeah. Rajiv sir, any lessons that you have learned along these, as you said, this short span of life that you have lived, but
I guess one of the most important would be to love yourself the way you are. Because no matter if you're like in a bad shape, had a bad day, or everything is going wrong, you are still going to have yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And suppose let's take a 90-year lifespan. No one is going to be there for you
Yeah.
throughout the 90 years, only you. So it's very important that you love yourself and take care of yourself, whether it's your body,
Physically,
mind,
mentally, spiritually. agree.
yeah. So I guess that's one of the most important lessons I learned because I went from self-hating to self-loving and it was a difficult journey.
For me, it will take some time, but yeah.
There are days, but yeah.
I agree. Well,
do you think, acha, along the same lines, like as you say, it's important to love yourself and have a good self-image. How do you draw the line between how much to put, how much pressure to put on yourself versus not putting so much pressure that you end up hating yourself, but still putting enough pressure so you constantly keep on getting better and keep on evolving? Because if you continue, if you love yourself the way you are right now, there's no scope of improvement in a way, because you'll not constantly look at yourself and say, nah, that's not enough, I want to do more. You'll be like, nah, you're good enough, let it be. But that's all you'll be.
good enough. You're good enough.
Right.
Yeah.
You're good enough. You think enough. You think loving yourself leads to enough, which is not good.
So it has happened to me like on some days when a couple of years back, I have been like, I'm not there yet, so I can't love myself. I can't be like, you're enough.
Yeah.
So you don't deserve that. But then if it comes from a place of love, that improvement thing, it's much more, you enjoy the process a lot more.
This is one quote which again I remember. It says, "You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy." Okay, you understand? You've already achieved goals you said would make you happy.
Damn. Apur sir with the best quotes of the podcast.
But yeah, actually, when I saw that quote, I was like, okay, shit, that actually makes a lot of sense. And it's the process which matters, honestly, in the end. Because if you're doing it every day, you already won. You understand what I'm saying?
That was a good quote. Who's this by?
Alex Omosi.
Great guy.
Great quote.
Very good guy.
That's a good lesson.
Alright, any dardnak?
Aryan sir.
Any dardnak lesson, Aryan sir?
Arey sir.
Masala chahiye, sir, masala.
मसाला चाहिए, मसाला लेसन चाहिए. अच्छा, मसाला लेसन चाहिए तो देते हैं चलो. I think a lesson that I've learned throughout these 20 years, a very important lesson, I think this is more important for guys specifically, is don't chase girls. Don't chase girls. And there's a difference between not being around girls versus not chasing girls.
Chasing is the key. Yeah.
Chasing is a very important word here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you should surround yourself with amazing women, amazing girls. You should constantly have many friends. You should constantly make friends, because I think although the boys' time is valued so much, right? And it, undoubtedly, it's the best experience that a guy can have, and he's just hanging out and talking shit with his guys, I feel. But you need that feminine, that energy around you also as a guy to constantly get better, is what I feel. You can't evolve more if you don't have a nice girl who, like just a friend. If she's constantly pushing you to get better, I think you will. But a problem that I personally also have gone through is that I used to do things to please girls in a way. Like, okay, she might end up liking me more because I do this.
Yeah.
Right.
And you end up making changes to yourself. You end up making changes with to the relationship that you currently have with your friends. A lot of things. You'll end up making a lot of changes in your life just because you're chasing girls and because you want that girl to approve of you. For a girl's approval, you end up making a lot of bad changes, which I think is like one of the worst things a guy can do. This one thing that even in the gym, right, there are these guys that come to the gym, like these younger guys at the age of 12, 13 and all, they start gymming, and I was very happy. This one 13-year-old guy came to my gym and I was very proud of it. I went and I asked him, bro, I'm so happy that you started at this young age. So what led you to coming here?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, this one girl in my class now, like I really wanted to like me, man. And if I get a body, I'm telling you she liked me. And I was like, I never want to see your face in the gym again. Don't show your face.
It is brutal.
Yeah, I mean, the first part of the sentence was so. I felt so good when I heard it, but as soon as I heard the reason as to why he did it, I was like, no, that shouldn't be the reason. So that's a lesson that I would that I have learned the hard way, and I would always tell people to like constantly don't get better for the wrong reasons. Get better, but don't get better for a girl's approval.
Do you remember the butterfly quote?
Yeah, I love that butterfly quote. So it goes something like, if you constantly spend your time trying to chase butterflies, they will always run away from you. But if you spend your time mending your garden and improving the garden, the butterflies automatically come your way. And
even if they don't come, you still have a beautiful garden.
Even if they don't come, you still have the beautiful garden.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful
quote.
And that's something that I think every person should know. Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts on this? I'm actually curious. Do you guys agree with
100%, I agree with you. Like, when you're at this stage, I mean, as I'm speaking, you should literally, in a way, focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Sounds very cliche to, just focus on yourself, king and all.
Yeah.
But it is true. Right now, you've not done anything. You don't have any credibility to show that you're the man who you say you are.
Yeah.
So right now, all you gotta do is just work your way through it.
I think that got me thinking. Also, another reason why I say at this age it's not important. It's you shouldn't chase girls, are because girls deserve a man who is worth having. I think you have to make yourself be that kind of person that this girl that you really like, you are deserving of her. Because I think at this stage of our life, we haven't reached where we want to reach. We are not the man that we want ourselves to be.
Yeah.
And if we haven't got our own shit together, how do we expect to bring a second person onto this boat? It's like, मैं अपने boat पे चला रहा हूँ, मेरा boat already इतना shaky है. I don't know I don't know the direction of the boat, where it's going. And I'm bringing another person on this ship, on this relationship as such, right? You're bringing this other person. I mean,
Wordplay.
Short content.
Short content, guys. You're bringing the second person. Bhai, Titanic is the sink ki hoga, then it's like two people are falling in trouble, not just you. So I would say
One of the reasons why Titanic sank.
Not the iceberg. What's the iceberg?
What iceberg?
Iceberg.
This was the iceberg.
This. Literally, you see, he was chasing that girl.
But Jane was the issue.
Boom. But yeah, so that's another. I think become a man of worth. I think we three are on this mission. We're trying to get there, and when we do, I'm sure you'll attract the right girl. Is what I feel, for sure.
Okay. Do you think? Okay, I would not say this, but would you view women as a distraction right now towards achieving our goals?
That's the thing. I think it's very similar to what I said. Like they could be distractions. They could
be.
And it's not their fault at all. They're not trying to be. You are making them distractions.
Yeah. Oh, you're overthinking. Okay, beautiful.
This is actually a great point.
It's not the girl's fault. The girl does. The worst part is sometimes the girl doesn't even know you exist. And she's still a distraction in her life.
मैंने उसको hi बोल दिया. Oh my god.
She smiled at me, bro, and that's all you're thinking about the entire day. You're not working towards what you want. You're not. Let's say you have to get some work done, and you're not able to do that because you're thinking about that girl who waved at you. That's insane, bro. That's insane. I've gone through this. I have been a victim of this. And it's insane. When I look back and when I think about, I used to be like, oh, bro, that cute girl like smiled at me. And I was thinking about that for like an hour. I was like, I wasted 1 hour of my life thinking about that shit. So they can be distractions, but it's not their fault. It's the guy's fault.
It's actually how you think about it. Like, if you're going and talking to someone with the intention of, bro, wo bandi aise, future mein, there's a possibility of dating, that then you're not going and talking to them for the right reasons. Like, when first time we all met, we just met because, bhai, baat karte hain. Let's be friends.
No ulterior motives.
Yeah, no ulterior motives, exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys I've seen, and वो ulterior motive जब आ जाता है ना, the authenticity and the pureness of that friendship, or even if it's a possible relationship in the future, it just goes away.
Fair enough. I think you're saying most guys enter into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Which is not right in the first place because...
Yeah, because possibility of dating, if you're entering, then it's for a wrong reason. Go and talk to her because...
But you don't have to be friends or not, that's if you think about it.
Yeah, you don't... बात नहीं करनी तो don't...
But you have to make your intentions clear in the first place if you think about it.
How do you make your intentions clear in the
You
first
tell her
place?
I'm not here for a friendship.
The first, he just goes up to a girl and that's the first thing he says.
Either
Hey,
either.
listen. Friends, no. Never.
No, but how do you know if you actually like a girl for the person she is, or just for because you saw her, you found her pretty and
That is true, but I'm just saying you don't get friend zoned. That's what I'm saying. In the end.
friend zone is
Don't make her your friend, but no, that's wrong advice. Don't make her your friend.
don't make her your friend is also bad.
Guys, सुनो ये अपूर्वा क्या चीजें बोलता है. Cancel इसको.
Editor, please cut.
No, but I think no, even he's right in a way because it's important to make your intentions clear for you and for the girl so that
Right,
later
fair.
on you don't end up.
Yeah.
In the friend zone or that दिल मुश्किल वाला stupid सा phase होता है भाई. So seeing that and it's so cringy.
Yeah, I agree. But this is an important lesson. I think before 20, everyone must understand that being in a relationship also, or just having someone by your side, you don't get to do much because you're not the person that you want to be in the future. Like there's so much for you to get done for yourself that I don't know. I personally don't see the point of bringing the second person on when I haven't got my own shit sorted out.
See, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a second person, but the only thing is that if she's out partying, if she's out like for me, okay, this is just for my example. If she's out partying, she's out clubbing, and she's drinking booze and all day, then maybe you should just focus on yourself. You know.
Why? What do you mean? Like I didn't get it.
Like because I
Same,
don't
even
I don't
agree.
have the thing is I'm not a very I don't want to say this, but I'm not a very
So you're not that outgoing of a person.
it's not outgoing, it's a degenerate lifestyle which I don't like.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to be with someone who has that lifestyle because then of course
because
the
then of
differences will
course
be there.
complexity of mind.
You could have framed that much better way. Sidhu ne kiya.
Cancelled again.
But yeah, I get your point. If
Yeah.
someone is having a completely different lifestyle than yours, then
Doesn't match.
yeah.
So you're saying even if you bring a partner along, she should be someone who's supporting you in your goals and also is on the same path. Like she's also in a way lives the same life that you're living. And
As the general lifestyle choice.
like it's compatible.
yes.
Both
It's
of you all are very
compatible.
Yeah,
compatible.
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, that works. And by the way, I'm not saying no to relationships. Like
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying at
Yeah.
all. The point was not to
Not to
chase
chase,
girls.
not to
Like,
chase.
I would never say that a guy should be sigma. alone.
Because there are guys.
Yeah, like there are guys that think that abhi they'll be like, "Arey no, he's saying that you shouldn't chase girls. You should chase girls. Matlab, don't ever have a girlfriend. That's not what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is that shouldn't be your reason to get better. That's it. Like don't go to the gym because of a girl. Don't change your haircut because of a girl. Don't do stuff like that. Don't change yourself. But as he said, it is important. It is important to have a compatible partner also in a way.
I
It does.
agree.
It adds a lot of benefit. Purv, right? Okay.
Also,
Yes, it
one
does.
more thing.
You
Sorry.
maybe I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
one
wouldn't
more
know.
thing that you said about having relationships. I feel it's important because it helps you identify the green flags and the red flags. So when you find the right woman,
Yeah, oh beautiful. Yeah.
you actually know if they are compatible or they want a different lifestyle. Like now you know you want someone with this certain lifestyle.
Valid.
Fair.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You find out what you want and what you don't.
Exactly. So it's necessary before
कुर्सी
you.
वाला example देना. SRK का.
SRK वाला.
Which one?
Dear.
Oh, okay,
Dear,
yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
beautiful example.
Good example. I agree. ठीक है. Apur sir, next lesson.
All right. Okay, this is something which I've been learning right now, and I think it's just 3 words. Okay, so guess what the 3 words are?
3 words.
Don't say I love you. Alright.
3 words का lesson.
Jai Shri Ram.
Get
Jai
it.
Shri Ram is such a good lesson.
Get
but
it done. नहीं.
No, it's volume negates luck.
Ooh. Yeah.
So
I
it's
didn't get it.
volume negates luck is the harder you work, the luckier you will get. It's the fact that the more quantity you post, the more things you do in future for the future self. It's not. So do you know about I think Atomic Habits where there was this chapter. जिसमें there were two sets of students. जिसमें both of them were given a photography assignment. ठीक है? And one was supposed to focus on the perfect picture. Just one picture, make it the perfect picture as you can. The second was supposed to put 100 pictures of that, and then try to make them like the perfect picture. Just click 100 photos. They found out that the people who had more photos actually had better photos than the one who was just supposed to click the
For that
photos.
perfect moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying there's no perfect moment. You have to
Yeah.
start now.
Quantity over quality.
Quantity.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Over quality,
Over
sorry.
quality. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That I completely agree with. I think
Even I
Rajveer sir would be the best judge of that. Just getting more shit done constantly is.
It eventually leads to a better output.
Yeah. It's the fact that you're not like, I'm not saying that. See, the thing is, consistency does not guarantee success, but not being consistent will guarantee not being successful.
Yeah.
Will guarantee failure,
Will
basically.
guarantee failure.
So you're saying automatically bring luck if you constantly just keep on
Volume again,
doing
yeah.
the work,
Yeah.
like doing more
I'll
of it.
give you an example. Suppose in your first gym session, if you were so focused on having a 3-hour perfect gym session, instead of going there daily
Yeah.
for 1 hour, even if it's not so
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
so in the long run, a 3-hour perfect session once a month compared
Versus, yeah.
to a 1-hour session every day,
Yeah. Yeah.
the difference.
Perfect example. Yeah. Makes sense.
That's one thing I learned. Volume negates luck. It's these 3 words have been like keeping me up at night. I can do more. Definitely.
We must.
Yeah, like if you don't do more, you won't know what's working for you, what's not working for you.
There was also one more I mentioned in the reel also, fully scenario. It's the work works more on you than you work on itself.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
You-
I remember that reel.
You get to know yourself when you've actually done the work. So just work on yourself. Work on one thing as hard as you possibly can to actually know what you are actually worth. Because you don't even know how long you can work, how much can you work.
Yeah.
This is something I've been
Volume negates luck.
volume negates luck.
Good one. Rajveer sir, come on, next lesson.
Again, I will like to continue with the 3 words thing. Hard work beats talent.
When talent doesn't work hard, yeah.
Yeah, that's the entire quote, but hard work beats talent.
For sure.
Like every day, there will be a person who's working 10 times harder, and that person will beat the person who just has talent as isn't working.
Any good example on the top of your mind you'd like to tell the audience? Like, go on. Take any 2 people. Someone who's very talented but didn't work hard and eventually went down the drain versus someone who was hardworking and you could see them rise to the top.
I'll have to think thoda sa for this. I guess you could take the example of the, okay, I'm going too much, thoda sa controversial ho raha hai, but the, nepotism debate.
Okay.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, nepotism in like movies, Bollywood films.
I know what he's trying to say, yeah.
I don't understand.
You could take an actor
Yeah.
who was given all the privileges, like they were given the perfect school, the perfect environment, the parents were actors and stuff, and then
okay, perfect. Okay.
and they didn't work hard. They had all the privileges. Not exactly talent, but all the privileges to be the next star.
But they didn't work hard.
But they didn't. And then you can take an example of an outsider who wasn't from the industry, but they worked so hard on their skill that they reached the top.
Yeah.
Damn.
Fair. Good lesson. Yeah.
Have you realized?
It's
getting good today.
Yeah, wow. Sure, next lesson, na? My turn.
Masala.
Yeah.
I don't need some
साले
masala.
मसाला मेरे पे आता है मैगी बैठा हूँ क्या मैं मसाला अच्छा, this is something that I've come to realize and something which is very important. I think it is important for every person, every young teenager also, to realize that spending time with your family is way more important than you would ever think so. I think in the end you end up you realize at a certain point in your life, if something happens, if a certain event takes place in your life in which the whole world turns against you, you would realize that the only people that are actually there with you are your parents, in most likelihood. Your family, I wouldn't want to extend it too far, but let's restrict it to your parents for now. I think your parents, spending time with your parents and honestly just being there for them is a trait that every 20-year-old should have, or like under the age of 20. I think you'd come to realize after a certain point that, okay, abhi college aa gaya hai, so I might be moving out. When you move out, you live separately away from your parents, you live in a dorm, maybe even in a different city or in a different country, and then you realize, oh yeah, I speak to my mom on call every day. But before, when you were actually there with your mom in the same house, you used to barely speak for like 5 minutes. So that's a lesson that I have learned also, because I went through that stage where I was like, "Arey bro, spending time with my parents is not a cool thing. Like you're not cool. You have to be with your friends. You have to be out the entire time. Who goes out with their parents and stuff?" But I eventually realized lockdown, because in fact when I was like, when I couldn't spend time with my friends anymore and I was at home, and I ended up realizing, okay, this is important, this is very important, you need to have a very good relation with your family, with your parents, because in the end, no matter what, I think your family is the only ones that stand by you through thick and through thin. And yeah, spend time with your mom, spend time with your dad, and in the end, eventually you'll feel better about it too. That's something, that's a very important lesson. That
You also said, nah, it's their first life too. No, like
Yeah.
give them a
Yeah.
break too. They're also living their
Yeah.
first life.
Yeah, like your parents are people also, right? In the end,
Yeah.
like most people don't realize that, oh, my mom did this, she's so evil, oh, my dad did this, he's such a prick. But it's their first time parenting also. They have not done this before. It's not like they've done this many a times. It's the first time they're parenting, and they'll make mistakes, yeah, but that doesn't mean that you stop spending time with them, or you don't hang out with them, or you don't talk to them. They're people too, they're humans too. I think give them a break sometimes. Yeah. Beautiful lesson. Yeah.
It's actually beautiful the way you put it. They are people too. They make mistakes too. It's their maybe first time parenting too. And of course they messed up somewhere, and it's okay. Like everyone does.
Yeah. And at this age, if you guys realize, at this stage of our lives, we've probably spent 90% or more.
I've seen that graph.
Curse ka sad, bro. Curse ka sad, guys. If you don't follow yet, that's crazy.
So there are four
Go on.
graphs.
Yeah.
So the time you spend alone, it goes up throughout the entire life. The time you spend with your partner peaks during the middle age thing. The time you spend with your parents, like, it just goes down. Until it eventually drops to zero.
It's basically like, at this stage when you are 20 or 21, you have spent 90% of your time with your parents that you will ever spend again. This time is gone. Like, you'll never, after a few years, you'll move out, and then you are never going to stay with your parents again. They're never going to be there. You're not going to eat your mom's like meal every single day. You're not going to. And when I realized that, okay, I've probably spent 95% of my life with my parents that I ever will again. Like, the time that I've spent, this is probably, I'm at my last stage. I'm at my last 10%. I was like, holy shit. This is it. Like, after this, it's this stage of my life, being the son of these two people, it's almost at the end, So yeah, that's when I started to spend more time, and I was like, yeah, it's time to spend time with the people that gave birth to you guys. Come on, like, if they weren't there, you wouldn't be there. Yeah.
Regarding this is also, there's on the same similar lines, there was something like you only have around 40 to 50 more summers left with your parents. Make sure you go to every single of them. Like, you attend every single one of the summers with your parents. And that was like, wow.
Damn.
You won't attend all of them, but just make sure that you can at least 30, 40.
It reminds me of the flip side of the coin also, because a lot of people have narcissistic or parents who have a certain mindset, and that might have, affected them in the wrong way. The people they have grown up to be. So you can't hate a person for having a damaged prefrontal cortex or something. So just be kind to them, forgive them, but you don't have to continue. Like, a lot of cases I was reading about narcissistic parents, you may have to go no contact completely. Not all cases, I'm not a therapist. So yeah, you may have to go no contact with them, and it's okay. So it's okay.
This made me realize that parenting is actually very important. Like, we don't know, we are not in the stage yet, but actually, the way we're brought up, everything, we're actually very privileged. Even to talk about this, and we're on the good side of things, because we have good parents. We had privileged parents.
For sure, yeah. Important lesson. All right, Apuro sir, masala mil gaya teko?
All right.
Go on. थोड़ा लाइट लेसन दे भाई, थोड़ा हेवी हो रहा है ज्यादा ही ऑडियंस के लिए भी. सब रो रहे शायद कैमरा के पीछे.
Bro, I don't have light advice.
I was just getting heavier. ठीक है, fair. Go for it.
I mean, this one's kind of wrong for me. Right. I mean, but this one I just because it's hard doesn't mean it has to be valuable.
Rajveer, come on. This is like that, we were laughing at that now when he said that 1000 bacche wale. And you're like, Apur, are you listening to what you're saying? You know, when he said the first part, I knew you'll laugh. I just knew it. I just knew Rajveer would laugh at this. I was hoping you wouldn't. Yeah.
I was waiting for the second part.
Control कर रुक.
Restart.
वापस. हाँ restart वापस. कैसा है ये राजवीर guys?
Hey,
देखो.
हकता है यार ये.
It was funny.
How is it funny?
Guys, if you laughed along, comment down below.
Alright, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's bad. What the fuck is wrong with him, bro? The fuck is wrong?
I'll tell you why he's laughing. I know you're giving a pause after hard, so he's laughing.
Up to look. Just because it's hard. I understand now.
अभी देखो समझा? ओह अच्छा. I thought फिर रो रहा है राजवीर.
मेरे को समझा अभी समझा. Because I'm thinking of the quote. It looks like such a good quote. Why is he laughing at the quote?
नहीं मेरे को starting में ही समझा but ठीक.
चल, let's go to another quote. ठीक है?
No, continue that quote. It's actually a good quote, bhai.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's valuable. Like, not everything you set out to do, not everything you work hard at, it's gonna be beneficial or fruitful in the end. There are certain, I think, like for me right now, through my understanding, I feel there are certain industries through which when you exploit those industries, you can earn a lot of money. You understand? But there are certain industries, like, I don't want to say this, but like, yeah, the construction industry or something, where you go, you work 10 hours a day, you will still get paid minimum wage. You work as a McDonald's worker, as a Pizza Hut worker.
Yeah.
You are working 10 hours a day. You are showing your hard work.
Yeah.
You're getting you're getting $100 or something only, right?
Huge disclaimer, we are very privileged
Yeah,
to
we are
say
very privileged
this.
to talk about this. Yes.
We are not dissing anyone for what they are doing.
But it's true. It's something I've understood. Like, just because you think something is going to be hard doesn't mean it's going to provide value to you in the future. Like, exposure to information isn't learning.
Oh, this was actually good.
Right? So there's this thing about what Tim Ferriss talks about. It's called the good shit sticks. Alright, whatever you go through something, you understand you're getting exposed to the book, but only the good shit, the one you will relate the most to, you'll understand the most in your mind. Only that will stick with you. People ask me how I learn. It's just the good shit sticks, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
But the bad shit is important too, because
You have to go through the bad shit to get to the good shit. That's for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's that Steve Jobs quote that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards.
Damn.
That's nice.
Because if the Steve Jobs didn't know at the time he was struggling. But he was going through such shit, and it might.
Let him complete the code, yaar.
मैं कुछ
Why do you want to do this? हाँ.
मैं उससे बात कर रहा हूँ.
अरे so like when he made तो हंसो मत यार.
मैं भी नहीं सुना.
मैं हंस रहा हूँ.
Just because it's hard. Come on, Rajveer.
No, honestly, you should not have laughed at that.
Are you
fucking mature people?
We're 20. We're talking about 20 lessons when you're 20. You're acting like a 10.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Keep the inner child alive.
That's a lesson.
That's a
That's a good
lesson.
lesson. Wait.
So laugh at all those stupid jokes.
Oh yeah, curiosity is a good one.
Yeah. So
Do you think it's important to keep that child?
Wait. Let him go again. We'll cut this out.
anyway, won't cut this out.
We'll cut this out.
I'm editing. So the thing
Don't
is,
cut it out. अच्छा है ये, बहुत अच्छा
Editor,
बात
don't
है.
cut, please.
Editor, don't cut. Go on.
yeah. So basically, when Steve Jobs was going through all the tough times, all the bad shit, he was enrolled in a calligraphy class. But then,
Oh yeah, this one. You cut it.
yeah. So then the typeface thing that Mac had,
Yeah.
which he claims that Windows copied, and maybe mostly they did. Yeah. So that wouldn't have existed. We wouldn't have all these beautiful fonts to use for designing and editing.
If he hadn't attended that one calligraphy class. then
Yeah.
it's Beautiful.
So that was in nowhere correlation to that.
Yeah.
But it still somehow made sense in the end.
Beautiful. And what do you think of the just because it's hard doesn't mean it's valuable?
I think you put it perfectly, bro, to be fair. I think the way you said it, no? I think the examples that you gave might have been a bit like, ऐसा.
Yeah.
But I got the point that you made. Like, some people really work hard and then they often question themselves that I'm putting in the work and yet I'm not really seeing the value that's come out of it. Because you know what, actually, to bring it to your point, you said that there are few industries where if you put in less value also, you end up seeking
less value nahi, less work.
Less work, you
Less
end up
hard,
getting more
hard
value.
work in the traditional sense. Yes.
And some industries where you work hard and still don't get enough value. Would you like to more elaborate on that? I'm also curious.
So-
Which industries do you think
So let's take booming industries. Might be wrong. I completely might be wrong. But let's take booming industries. Let's take the age of artificial intelligence. Let's take the age of content creation. This is a big untapped market which we're also exploiting right now.
especially in our country, guys?
Yeah.
Very untapped.
We're exploiting the same thing right now because we
Yeah.
know there is a future to this.
There is potential.
Like
Yeah.
you don't know any podcast. I mean, there's 1 or 2 podcasters who've made it past 10 years.
Yeah.
If you plan this in the long decades, you will understand that this is a big industry. It's the content economy, the creator economy.
Yeah.
It's an untapped market. It's a complete blue ocean for me. People call it saturated. People call YouTube is so saturated. I don't think YouTube is saturated,
YouTube is
brother.
not
There is still a
saturated.
lot of potential.
Hi, YouTube is not saturated. But yeah, that makes sense. Content creation, AI, all of these are industries where even if you put in less hard work, you end up you get more value.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Good lesson. You're
What
done?
about you, sir?
Rajit, sir, can you bring the masala so I can focus on something lighter?
Okay, masalas. I guess one of the most best lessons, and I guess it comes naturally also to what I've seen you both guys. Be chivalrous. Yeah, I think chivalry is very underrated. Like when we were walking with them, the sidewalk rule.
Yeah.
When opening the door, you open the door.
Yeah.
Good lesson.
Yeah, all those kinds of little stuff, but it makes,
Big difference.
and not just for the woman you are on a date with or something,
Anyone.
anyone. It just makes you feel good about yourself only, I think.
What are those few little chivalrous things
Yeah.
that a man can do, which people would also like to hear? Like just those little things that you think
Like,
stand out.
treat her with respect, I guess.
That's a big thing though. Like I'm talking about those, like you
The
spoke about the
details.
like,
sidewalk
details.
rules.
The details.
The-
sidewalk
yeah.
rules, opening the car door, when you both are going to sit, let her sit first. Opening the normal doors as well. Like listen,
Yeah.
listen.
I understand,
While
yeah.
in a conversation, listen to what she's saying, and
Yeah, and don't try to fix the problem. Exactly.
exactly, just be there and listen to her properly, what she's saying and where she's coming from. Try to understand that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
So these are some little things.
That's a dying thing, bro, in our generation, right? It's such a dying thing. Like
Also, like after eating,
yeah,
give her a handkerchief or something.
yeah.
Really? Yeah, I actually didn't know that. That's crazy. This reminds me of one more small phrase. It says, you should sweat the small stuff, which relates to the entire details. Like, you have to pay attention to those details. People will call you control freaks, whatever it is. But again, as I told you, perfectionism is procrastination masquerading quality control.
Ooh. Again.
So yeah, you have to sweat the small stuff.
Hmm.
People will, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. Good one. Okay, my turn.
Inside masala.
भाई मसाला मेरे पे तेरे को बोला था हेवी बोलने तू कुछ लाइट बोल के निकल गया मेरे को अभी हेवी बोलना पड़ेगा वापस अबे यार
You can do a light, पूरा और मैं फिर heavy कर लेंगे.
That was.
नहीं बट मसाला वो बोल रहा है मसाला
मसाला चाहिए.
अबे बेचारा 2 मसाला बोल चुका है. पूरा emotions निचोड़ चुका है.
आज तो मैं रोने वाला हूँ यहाँ
Okay, what is your take on happiness? 20 years old. Sacrifice happiness for the career, whatever. What do you think? I'm just giving you ideas.
lesson something related to happiness you're saying
Chase happiness or chase your goals? I mean, they don't have to be completely dependent on each other, but
let me think I think happiness na I would say ki happiness is
Okay,
that's not a lesson
are you happy right now in this stage of life?
no
You? As you?
At this moment, I am.
At this moment I am. At
No,
this moment
it's not. It's not this moment. It's the stage of life. It's the season of life.
yeah
Yeah.
You are happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
But he's always this one exception, na?
that's good yaar
Yeah, it's actually very good. Honestly, like,
It's actually-
yeah.
how do you know you're happy like how do you
What
just,
is your measurement?
yeah how do you just know you're happy like right now in this stage of life
How do I know I'm happy? Fuck, that's a tough question. Things don't seem bad.
Okay, wow. That's
Like
beautiful.
they could have been a lot worse.
They could have been a lot
But
better.
doesn't that mean you're grateful, not happy? There's difference between being happy and grateful.
Yeah, that's
Which is
true.
there is a dependence, there is a relation between both of them, but there's also a difference between both of them.
I think happiness is very short term. Happiness is a state of mind that you can be in, but it's not a way of living
State
life.
of being.
It's not a way of living life. You can't be a happy person, I believe. You can be happy, but you can't be a happy person. You can't just be a happy person.
You can be a positive person.
You can be definitely you can be a positive
Yeah.
person. You can't just be a happy person because you constantly have to do things that
Make you happy.
that keep you happy.
Ha, of course.
Yeah.
You can't 24 hours do something that makes you happy.
Yeah. So you can be happy for a period of your life, but in the long run, I think you can be at peace. You can be what was the other word you said, which was related to happiness, but
Fulfillment, content.
grateful. You can be grateful.
Grateful, yeah,
You can
grateful.
be content. You
Yeah.
can be at peace, but I don't think you can stay happy forever. You can be happy at different.
Of course. And
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
it's actually wrong if we chase happiness all the time.
Yeah.
Chase fulfillment.
Mm.
Chase being content.
Have a purpose. You are going to have tough days. You're going to have
Yeah.
life is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Galat actually. But yeah.
And
Achha, I have a good lesson. Like it's something that I've come to realize as time passes by, which is important. I think for people to realize as soon as possible. You are not the center of the universe.
oh, we're going there. So perfect. I love this.
I think it's very important, and trust me, guys, there is no one more than me who would have probably believed this. I'll be very honest to admit it. There's no one else. Like all of you all probably wouldn't have, but I have definitely believed it. Probably still do. But I have come to realize that I'm not the center of the universe, and that honestly has changed the way I've lived life, and it's made it much better because I've stopped believing that everything that has happened
For a reason.
For a reason, and everything that's happening is because it's impacting my life in a way. Everything's happening for me. Everything is about me. I've come to realize that it's not true, and that's very important. That is very, very important because
In the grand scheme of things, you don't
Nothing
matter.
matters.
masala enough for you.
But I think that's where that's what I think. Like, your happiness isn't dependent on other people
Mhm.
because nothing matters. Again, you're gonna die. People 100 years again after you die are not gonna remember you. They didn't remember you before. They won't remember you now.
Yeah,
So whatever you do it for yourself.
yeah.
That's
I was coming to that thing that you said. You're not the center of the universe. You're not the main character in the world's lives, जितने भी लोग हैं, and in other people's lives.
Yeah.
You're the main character in your own life. You can enjoy your day that way. You can go through the hardships that way.
But do you think it won't it lead to a little bit of narcissism if you act as the main? Oh, I'm the main character. Like, oh, I should deserve that. Oh, I should be that. It
But
should
I'm
be
not
me.
the main character of other person's life, right?
That's okay.
And most of the things in the world are not under my control. They will come to me.
Yeah.
Script hai wo.
yeah.
But I can go through it. I can tackle them my way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll make mistakes. Maybe I'll pakka make mistakes. But I can learn from them. I can be a better person. And there's always more to learn. Whether you're 10, 20, 90.
One more lesson. You're gonna make mistakes. For sure, you're gonna make mistakes. But
Yeah.
that's what makes life interesting. It's a roller coaster, right?
Exactly.
And the point is to have fun.
Another lesson in what you said about the mistakes part, that you are going to make mistakes. Learn from it because no one is perfect, and your journey will never be without obstacles. Like it'll never be a straight, clean road. Especially if you're on this journey, as we are, you're going to face constant obstacles, as we have also, and we are going to continue facing more obstacles.
And if it was a straight line, it would be boring.
There's no point. That's like we spoke about this in the previous episode. Would you rather be born fearless or not? Like you would overcome the fears and become fearless. Like that's in a way a very important lesson also.
Yeah.
Rajiv sir.
Next step. Have a good speaker and earphones. I genuinely like the playlist sets the damn mood for the day.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually not bad.
That's a nice lesson. Yeah.
Light lesson.
Light lesson.
Nice light lesson.
Have a good playlist. what for you is a
Good.
is a good
Yeah.
playlist or like?
Dude, it should have shitty songs. But it should also have those songs that motivate you.
Yeah.
Also the songs you're listening to while you're happy,
Yeah.
while you're content, while you're sad. So pura playlist should be good, and you should have a good pair of headphones or speakers. That's a necessity because I wake up, I just पहले music play करता हूँ मैं.
What is that first song for you, which you play? What is that motivating getting out of bed song?
Yeah, describe your morning routine to us.
Okay, it has gone from the Beatles' "I Am the Walrus" to this Udta Punjab title song.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Damn, that actually will wake you up in the morning. Definitely will wake you up.
Pakka.
It has gone to this song, the Zombies ka "She's Not There." No relation to the lyrics. I just enjoy listening to that song.
Rajveer sir, why are you listening to She's Not There? Would you like to tell the audience?
Don't chase.
Rajveer sir, क्या बोला था lesson number 3?
Don't chase it.
Rajveer sir खुद नहीं सुनता है, ज्ञान दे रहा है बाकी लोग को. ठीक है, fair, light lesson.
Yeah, Pink Floyd Eclipse and this thing. Laksh ka title song was what I listened to today morning. It's a great song. Great film, guys.
Fair.
थोड़ा heavy हो जाए.
अच्छा.
अपनी मौत के बारे में सोचते हो.
अच्छा नहीं करना था, मेरे को लगा. अच्छा. Okay, another lesson. Let's think. I have a good one also.
Go for it.
I would say this is also thoda. We already covered it a bit, so let me think of something else, a little different. Oh, wait.
I have one, but it's kind of a little personal.
Go on.
Be proud of where you came from. And so the thing is, I hate my previous self, as both of you know. But I've recently come to accept him in a way. I don't love him, but of course, he still is very cringy to me. I understand.
Prefer that version of Apurva. Just saying.
Well, you should actually generally accept him and make him understand that he was on the same path as you were, and maybe he was a little straight, but he was just a kid. He was just an 11th guy.
If he wouldn't have existed, you wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, for sure. That is logical, but हाँ. मैं philosophical जा रहा हूँ तो एकदम अगर वो exist नहीं करता.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
So have you come to accept?
I'm on the words, just on the words. Because I look back at my previous videos and my previous my photos, and I'm kind of happy of where I came, but I'm also happy of where he was and what he was doing. It wasn't that he wasn't trying to do anything; he was on his way, and that kind of that's it. Accept who you truly are.
Yeah. I think another lesson that I have learned the hard way also, and I would tell people is that you should stand by what you believe in, no matter what people think of you. And this is something I strongly believe. Like, if you believe in something, or if you have a certain point of view towards something, don't change it because others might not be on your side. Like, even there might be 6 people that are discussing, and 5 of them have the same point of view, and you on that day don't have the same point of view. You'll end up changing it because you want to be part of that herd, right? It's called herding behavior in finance. You want to mimic the people because you want to fit in, right? I would say don't. I would personally believe that it's better to speak what you believe in, even if you're an outsider. It makes you an outsider. They would say, oh my god, you think this way, and they'd probably not include you in the next discussions. Take it, because if you don't stand by what you believe in, you don't know what you really are by the end of the day. Like, you don't know who you are. I think it's important to be a man or woman. It's important to be a man or woman of principles, of certain ideologies and values. Very critical. And start at an early age, like for whoever.
I guess it's important to have those principles that you want to keep. If this is wrong, I'm not doing it. If this is right, I am doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, be open to learning. Don't be too hinged on that ki matlab, okay, this is the thing.
Yeah.
These are my choices. You can like something and something. You can like both the things.
Yeah.
You don't have to just stick to something, but of course, have your principles. Stand up for what you believe is right at the moment.
But that's the thing I constantly debate with myself when I talk about this, where I believe, okay, this is what I think, so I should stand by it. But then I don't listen to other people. Like, I end up not hearing their point of view. I always end up doing what I think is right. So where do I draw the line? What do you guys think? Like, suppose now both of you have a different point of view about something. But I'm thinking, okay, if I listen to them, I'll automatically be discarding my beliefs. But if I just constantly do what I want to do, how am I growing? How am I learning from others? So where do you like draw the line?
I guess if there's a certain topic that you don't agree with the other people in the room, research about that topic, just go into the depths and see if you are on the other side or this side. And if you're still on this side, then of course stand up for it. But if your views change, then be humble enough and accept it that I was wrong about it. But there's also the thing in this huge universe, we don't know what we are doing and nothing matters. So change कर दे रहो यार, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
No, but it's also the fact that you're others. You should be open to the fact that others also have an opinion.
Yeah.
And it will not collide. As it will not be the same opinion as you have, and it's totally okay. Like you have an opinion, I have an opinion. It's different.
They're coming from different places.
Yeah, you have to accept that. Yeah, maybe that guy, maybe he's right, maybe I am. Let's try and error. Let's do trial and error. That's it. There's nothing else. And if you're so stuck in, if you're so rigid to the idea that you have, then maybe is it even the right idea? Because if it makes you so rigid to the fact, the ideas which are the great ideas are the ones which are most flexible. So that's what I think. If the rigid ideas aren't the good ideas in the least.
Fair. Any other lessons?
तुम बताओ.
This thing, there's actually a couple of them combined into one.
Go on.
So one is be kind, don't be a people pleaser, and have boundaries.
How is it combining into one? Those are three very different lessons.
Listen, so being kind,
Yeah.
like be generous, be kind to people, help them, and be there for them. But if someone is affecting your way of lifestyle or the way you want to live or every time, then you need to set that boundary. If you're people pleasing all the time, then it's wrong. As you said, that if you're always changing your opinion to fit in with the room, then it's wrong.
So what you're saying is you don't have to be a nice guy, you have to be a kind guy.
You have to be a good man, not a nice guy.
Oh, okay. Exactly. Yeah.
Fair.
Because kindness, I feel, is extremely underrated.
Yeah. Compassion, for sure. Yeah.
Generally, like, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff. And we only see how they behave with us or how they are acting in a certain scenario or situation.
Yeah.
They might be coming from having a very bad day before and now they are acting this way. Just be kind to them. Be open to the idea that उनका दिन उतना अच्छा नहीं होगा जितना मेरा जाएगा.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is, I think it's called
Gratitude again?
it's basically like
Empathy.
suppose you're driving a car and someone cuts you off and goes in front of you, and you'll obviously give a gali to that person because he's like cutting you off and going, but maybe that person is rushing his mom to the hospital and that's why he went fast. So it's like you don't know what that person is going through. You don't understand their point of view, and you have a different you judge them without knowing what they're actually going through. So instead, be kind to them and shower more empathy. Be more empathetic. I think, as you said, kindness and empathy is a dying thing for sure. For sure, yeah.
That's beautiful.
I think another thing, very generic, guys. I think everyone's heard this, but I think eat healthy. It might be underrated
sure.
in a way, but eat healthy. And what I mean by that is start eating healthy as soon as possible. Like, because it's a very difficult thing to get out of. Like when you get into that binge eating or eating sweets and stuff, you don't realize how many years you'll take to repair the damage. Because it's like you end up 1 year of binge eating sugar and or let's say going through this rough patch of eating unhealthy food. It'll not take you a year to go back to that state. It'll take you longer. It's always like the damage is way worse than you think it is. So eat healthy. Start eating the right food as soon as possible is something that I would suggest to everyone. It's a lesson that even is an important lesson for people in our generation. At least.
I agree. Coupled with drinking water and sleeping.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care of your body.
Yeah, take care of your body as soon as possible. Don't wait. Yeah, for sure.
Right, so. One thing I learned along the way is actually comes from Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdal. He said this one quote, it's really
Beautiful book.
A beautiful book. It's stuck with me. It says, success doesn't lead to feeling good leads to success. what's the point of being successful if you have no one to share it with? If you're not happy in the end, if you're not content in the end, if you're not fulfilled in the end, right? And you go all the way to climb Mount Everest just to reach the top, but you don't enjoy the view when you're out there.
It was always about the journey.
It was always about the journey. Journey before destination, of course. That really, because I was chasing rewards. I mean, bro, I want the Dubai yacht. I want Dubai Marina पे जाके ऐसा champagne toast and all.
Oh, दारू पी रहा है,
But then there's no point if you don't enjoy the journey, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have anyone in the Dubai Marina, Dubai yacht with you. क्या बात कर रहा हूँ?
Sure. We believe you.
We'll be there.
But yeah, that's a good one. Because most people constantly seek this. They have this vision of what they want to achieve in life. These materialistic possessions and this, itna paisa kamana, itna chahiye, ye chahiye in the end. But the journey that's getting them there, they end up missing out on that.
Yeah.
And then they regret it, यार. अभी इधर आ गए तो क्या मतलब पता ही नहीं चला कि everything that happened I actually missed out on it. So yeah, journey over destination. I think that is a good lesson for sure. Do you think for your for you personally, your body transformation that you have gone through, did you enjoy the process, or are you are you at that stage where you're like, okay, I'm that entire process of 11 to now, what I've gone through, I've enjoyed it and been here, or are you just like, look, that future image that you have of yourself where you want to get that peak Kapoor physique, is that the only thing that matters?
Right now at this stage?
Yeah, at this point.
At this stage, I would say I don't want to be like, I mean, I don't want to be C-Bum. I look up to C-Bum, of course. I look up to Chris Bumstead. Great physique, great, everything great. But I don't want to be him right now because sometimes I do feel like eating a few burgers here and there and just enjoy. Like maybe I'm late at night and I just want to eat sometimes, McDonald's is comfort food.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
good.
Sorry,
sometimes
McDonald's.
it's good.
Take us back.
Because it kind of brings you it kind of brings back certain memories also.
Ooh.
Like you've gone through a long day of work and then you just went with someone else and then you met a friend like chal daru peete, that kind of stuff. And then you remember you don't remember the daru you had, but the memories you had when you were like drinking beer with your friends, right? I don't drink, guys. I'm just giving an example.
As long as it's not becoming the daily thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because as long as if it's not becoming 4 times a week, I'm eating McDonald's.
But then it won't be pleasurable also.
Yeah.
Because if you eat it 4 times, the hedonistic pleasure just goes away.
Fair point.
Speaking about this, another important lesson that I'd like to point out is that people our age should delay gratification.
Oh.
I think it's important to push your happiness and your gratitude, your state of what you want to achieve, push it for the future and go through the struggle now. So like working out is the perfect example. Like you go to the gym, even for a month, you won't see much difference. But you go every day, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you'll automatically see that 5 months down the line, okay, daily if you keep checking your weight and checking yourself in the mirror, you won't see much difference. But 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you'll be able to see you have delayed your gratification for the future, and that makes you a better person. I think that's very important for people in our generation. Delaying gratification, for sure.
Impulse control.
Yeah.
I guess for the working out part, I think that I started with the aim of getting there, but as
Love the process now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just fun. I feel good about myself after I've worked out.
Yeah.
It's regarding the delayed gratification part, I feel you also have to train your muscle of focus. The distractions have to go, bro. Like, you know where you have to be, you know what your potential is.
Deep work.
And you're just squandering, just watching social media 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. Focus is everything. For me, focus is the biggest superpower there is right now.
As a personally, for you, if people want to know, like personally, if you are feeling very not in the mood, like you're very distracted, you want to just sit back and watch some reels, but you have to get some work done. You have to get some work done, right? What do you do to get out of that distraction and get back to work? What is that? Is it a thought? Is it something that you do? How do you get back into the zone?
Pomodoro technique bola maar dunga.
No, it's not
But
that.
it's effective.
It is effective, but there's some days where it doesn't. So when you're not feeling it, when you're totally like gone through it, then there's this thing called the write-off principle. where you just write the day off and you start the day off, the next day off normally. Because then if you do more of it, so it's like gym maybe if you exercise your muscles too much, if you overtrain, but you got to train before you overtrain, right? So that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I just remind myself like this is what hard feels like, and this is gonna be like the first chapter of your book. Like this is it. This I was here and this was happening to me, and at that moment I made that decision. What is the decision right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. This might be the first chapter of your book.
Okay.
Damn. What about you, Rajveer sir? I know work ethic, crazy work ethic, constantly working.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are times where you feel like, "Arey yaar, laptop band karna hai, let's just go and chill." But you have work to be done. It's not like you're it's not like you're burnt. I'm not saying you're burnt out. I'm saying you have to get work done that day, and you just want to chill, but you want to get back in that zone. What do? How do you get back into the grind?
Yeah, thanks. There hasn't come a time where I have not wanted to work.
Really? Ever?
If you love the journey, then bro, it doesn't matter.
Ever.
But yeah, Rajit, actually, I agree with that. There has to be
someday like where you just feel
where
like
it's just taxing, when it's just like, oh my god, this freaking edit I have to do, man, right now.
Okay, so there are edit jobs that I don't like doing, but then if you're getting paid, you have to complete it. But then there are some things that genuinely I want to edit.
Yeah.
Like that fuel my creativity.
Yeah.
Like I sent you guys the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
That just for 2 days I had my midterms going on. But I loved it so much I wanted to keep it doing and I wanted to up it every single second.
So for you, what you're trying to say is, if the person finds something that they genuinely like, or like they're working on something they genuinely are wanting to do, then work doesn't feel like work.
Work feels like play.
It just feels like you want to get it done, is what you're saying. Fair.
Find work that feels like play.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, don't always accept the work that's coming your way just because you want to, get more things done. Do the work that genuinely excites you. As a creative person, just do something more creative with it that pushes you thoda sa aage.
Yeah.
Because as you were saying, quantity. But you have to keep upping the quality, even if it's just by one person.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
for
Atomic
sure.
Habits, you were 38 times better.
That I agree. There is this Einstein quote, na? Insanity is just looking at the same problem again and finding different solutions for it. It's you have to get better at the thing.
This feels like division ki dekh ke aaya. All the lessons. Kursi wala lesson. Then the tough pahadi wala.
Yeah.
Mountain wala.
Journey before destination.
Yeah. Also the hard route. Like the Sherpa takes is waving. And he's...
Acha, another very important lesson that I can think of.
Yeah.
Very, very important. And this I realized like very recently only, but it's important. Crazy. It's that you are accountable for everything that happens to you. And this is something that people don't really think of, because they always end up, and including me, this is when I say this also includes me. We always find a reason for what happened to us, which is something external. This thing bad happened to me because of this, or this thing happened to me because he did it or she did it. It happened to me because I was going through this. I think people don't take accountability for where they are in life, and that is what leads to a state of not being where they want to be. They're not they'll never look in the mirror and say, this happened because of you and you only. Not a state of full accountability is very important. I believe that, because when you believe that everything that happens in your life happens because of you, and it's because of your deeds and your actions, that is when you improve, because that's when your actions get better.
You have to take responsibility.
You have to take responsibility of your actions, and you have to be accountable for it. Take accountability.
Extreme ownership.
Full ownership, fully. 100%.
There's also the other side to it. Like, you're completely right about that part.
Yeah.
There are also some incidents that victim blaming, basically, I would say. Like, there are crimes and there are abuses. Let's say even for a man or a woman, if they get raped, you can't blame it on them. Ki, matlab, okay, you were in this area, you were at that time, that's why it happened to you.
That's
the other side of thing.
Like,
but I completely agree with him. Like, you have to take ownership for your actions.
I think what he's saying is like you have to have that internal locus of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are instances, obviously.
There are, of course, the outliers.
Yeah.
For
sure. Yeah.
Outliers is also a very good topic, by the way. We can talk about.
What are the lessons, Rajveer?
थोड़ा light करते हैं थोड़ा.
Any lesson in your like childhood, like something not now which recently you might have learned, but something as a kid which you had to learn the hard way, and now you're like, okay, I should have known better. Or any mistake that you're glad you made. Any mistake that you all are glad you made in the past as a kid.
I have one. It's not being an engineer.
Oh, sir.
Because
Personal attacks are
bro, I'm telling you now, bro. I am. I'm just saying,
Yes,
bro.
Apurva. What do you have to say about engineers?
Bro, if I would have been an engineer, na, bro, I don't know.
Engineers got us to the moon, Apurva. Bol.
No, it's the fact that if I didn't make that decision now, I thought of what could be the worst if I changed. And the outcomes were like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. If you just change, even if you did, you can go back to engineering again. You just try it for 1 year maybe. And then I did this branding and another thing. I'm very happy that I didn't go to engineering, bro. I think you will also be a little bit happy that I think you didn't even want to go in engineering.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was never as clear as you. Like,
Yeah.
you gave JE and you were like almost there. So I was never that. I in fact in 12th, I think 11th end only, I was like, chemistry नहीं हो रहा, नहीं हो रहा है. Physics and math हो रहा है, chemistry नहीं हो रहा है, पसंद भी नहीं है. So I was like, engineering तो नहीं, no chance. And yeah. तेरा तो हाँ ये था engineer होना.
Some people have to go through engineering.
He is an engineer, by the way, guys.
नहीं अभी तक मतलब हाँ for sure.
Chemistry,
Soon
I
to be.
didn't have it in my course only till now.
Fair.
Yeah, chemistry I didn't have. Physics and math I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So it was a cakewalk.
Damn.
So yeah, just basically do what you love.
Definitely.
And also one more thing, add on to that, you will regret not doing something rather than doing something. So take risks and try new stuff.
Get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Take chances.
Yeah.
There was one more quote kind of thing. It's like in order to find that it was a mistake, you have to make that mistake to make sure that it was a mistake, so that you can look back and that was a mistake. But right now you have to make that mistake.
It's actually good advice.
Yeah.
No, fan.
One light lesson I had on my...
Go for it.
When playing with small children, just let them win.
Okay.
It wasn't going there. The expression he made.
Newsflash. Rajveer sir plays with small children.
Jesus Christ.
Other country. Sorry.
You just ruined it.
तुम लोग बोलते हो I'm the most cancellable. Guys, look at these two. Laughing at hard, laughing at children playing.
It's actually
Actually a great. Actually, yeah, I agree.
No, I was saying that the issue is... I was saying the issue is like very real and a lot of people are affected by it. Because childhood abuses have a very serious impact on the person they become in the future. So, अच्छा quote
I
बोला ना?
didn't know it makes sense, yeah. There was, again, I remember this example where there was this mother, okay, there was this 13, so she was, I don't know what age she was, but then she had a child and the child was crying, okay, and of course, children will cry.
Yeah.
And then what she did was she was so frustrated, you could see her frustrated, okay. And then I was like, oh my god, she was like, oh my god, and then she just left the child on the pavement, okay, and then she just pretended to walk away, okay. Thinking that, the child will stop, he sees her mother going away and he'll just crawl towards her and he'll stop crying. Man, kind of trauma the child will have in the future.
How old was the child?
Baby, infant. He was literally handed.
It
You
could, like
understand?
small actions could affect.
It's those little details. Sweat the small stuff, right? Parenting is so important, bro. We're not even...
Yeah. There are many lessons that we can learn from our parents also, which they would be glad they made those mistakes with us so that we won't make the same with our children, hopefully. Fair. What else? I'm thinking of
I guess this
lesson.
was one thing, that be a good winner and a good loser.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That's a
It's
good
very
one.
necessary. I was watching this one short clip of this thing. Rohit Shetty, the director. Like he has... you're not supposed to love his films or hate his films, but they are the films that have worked financially well at the box office. He was on this talk show, I guess Coffee with Karan hi tha. So the Karan asked him, ki, matlab, what do you attribute the success of this career? To whom do you attribute? To what factor do you attribute it to? And he was like, I give it to my team because it's all of their efforts because of which those films were successful. And when he was asked about his previous film, which was a failure,
Yeah.
the guy said, I failed as a director there.
Ooh.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
It was
Full
beautiful.
accountability. And also sharing, yeah, that's a good one.
He took the responsibility for the failure,
Hmm.
and then when asked about his wins, he was grateful
Gave
about it.
credit, yeah.
Yeah.
Another lesson that I can think of, which is important again for our generation, is people should not uh, consider social media as the life that is actually being lived by the other people. Like when you look at social media and you look at all of these stories, I couldn't frame it, but what I'm trying to say is when you look at social media and you're going to Instagram and you're seeing the stories of all these people, that is the happiest moments of their life. That is not their life. And that is not the life they're living. That is just the peak of their life, because they're not like that always. So what happens is you look at all of these on social media, look at all of these different stories of all people having all of this fun, and then you compare it with the moment that you are going through right now, which is like probably you're sitting on your bed and just looking at the reels and looking at the stories, and you're like, shit, everyone's doing all of this fun stuff, all of this, everyone's living life to their fullest, and I'm just sitting here on my bed not doing anything. And automatically you go to this negative zone. You go to the state of comparison, which I don't think is right, because they probably recorded that story and then they're back on that bed sitting and watching your stories the next day. It's like a cycle. So I don't think you should compare yourself with other people on social media. I think it's very critical. And as much as possible, don't follow tons of people and compare your life with their lives, because it's not going to do you any good. I feel like get better and yourself, and you don't have to show the world that you're doing good online.
So Jordan Peterson ka 12 rules of life, that was one exact what you're
Yeah.
saying is like compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Yeah.
You put it perfectly right now,
Yeah,
actually.
that's actually perfectly put. Makes sense.
Anyone? Any more? I have one more.
बहुत सारे यार होंगे. बहुत सारे होंगे.
So one thing I learned when dealing with people,
हाँ.
there's two. Okay.
Ooh.
The first is all people are different people. This took me quite a while to understand.
People are
I
different
treat
people.
everyone with the same. You can't treat everyone with the same kindness, with the same attitudes and behaviors. And it's also, all people are different people. They will react to the same question in a different way.
Would you like to share when you realized this, like the instance, if anything happened specifically?
I mean, there was no instance specifically.
You just
It was
realized.
just a series of
Okay,
events.
fair,
Yeah.
fair, fair. Hmm.
And the second one is there was this one more reel I made. It's
Full promotion चल रहा है. फाड़ू promotion चल रहा है अपने account का, sir का तो.
it's a psychological concept called Hanlon's razor, if you've heard of it. So what Hanlon's razor says is never attribute to malice that which can be explained by stupidity. So what it means is people are people. They're gonna make mistakes and all, but you can't think that they're making that mistake. So they're intentionally hurting you. They don't have any ill intent for you.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just stupid. That's literally the thing. Sometimes people make dumb decisions, and there's no intent. There's no evil intent. You will think, oh, that guy said this to me because he thinks of me like that way. No, he was just stupid. Maybe he was just drunk.
It's true.
And he just said it out.
Fair.
We underestimate how stupid people can be.
Yeah, for sure. How stupid we can be, pata hai?
Yeah. भाई मैं बहुत genuinely बहुत stupid हूँ भाई.
दिल से निकला वो दोनों का.
भाई अभी I was laughing on that.
I swear, Rajveer, तू तो.
No, that was genuinely stupid. That was.
और ये तुझको तो realize ही नहीं हुआ है क्या बोल रहा है.
There was this one thing: give people a second chance, but not a third.
Ooh, can you explain? This is very interesting to me, actually.
No, it was just from a list of quotes that Henry Cavill reads in the morning.
Give people
Give
second
people a
chances,
second
but not
chance,
the
but
third.
not a third.
I think sometimes you shouldn't give the second chance also.
Whoa, why?
I always believe that it's important to forgive but not to forget. I don't think you should forget anything anyone ever did.
So that's why you remember the
Yeah,
first chance.
but then that's the
And the
thing,
second
right?
chance.
You gave them the second chance, so the second time when they wronged you, it's your fault because you were the one who forgave them the second time. So you can't really blame them for making the same. Like if a person has screwed you over twice, the second time it's your fault.
But what about redemption?
Maybe they have changed over the period of
People
time.
don't change; they just become more of who they really are.
Oh,
कहाँ से आ रहा है भाई? आज का एपिसोड कुछ ज्यादा ही बैंगर हो रहा है भाई.
अच्छा episode है, अच्छा
बहुत
episode.
अच्छा एपिसोड है भाई.
This is what I think I'm very I believe this.
No, but bro, that was actually yeah.
People don't change. They'll
show themselves.
They'll show their true colors as time passes. Yeah. Another lesson that I think is important, if you it's along the lines of what you said. I think it's important to discard the people that are upsetting you or that are hurting you in any way. It's important to discard them at the right moment, like as soon as possible. Like you don't string them along too much for them to hurt you again.
Yeah.
Right? You let them go, even though it might hurt. Like they might be someone very close to you. Like you might be spending a lot of time with them on a daily basis. So you'll be like, "Acha nahi, if I let this person go, then to kya? Who will I spend time with? Tabhi?" It'll hurt for sure. You'll be lonely, but in the long run, it is better. It is better to
You will have more time to be with the right people.
yeah. You will end up finding the right people.
Because it just happens, I guess, as you go along in life, the set of principles, the set of purpose you have.
Yeah.
Over time, you might feel lonely, you will have bad days, but eventually, even though you might be losing your old friends,
Yeah.
the ones you will find will be more in line with your purpose. And that's what I feel is necessary and important.
Similar concept but different perspective. It was stop chasing the wrong one, the right one won't run.
Ah,
Ooh.
this is good.
So that's exactly what you said. Like,
It applies to friendships
yeah, for sure, yeah.
too.
We were talking about friendships only.
We're talking about
We
friendship
went
only,
to-
yeah.
I thought you were talking about that was in a relationship.
Yeah, it was a relationship. Yeah.
Acha.
Ah,
ठीक है. I mean, we wouldn't know. I mean, but fair.
Oof. So, let's make the mood a little lighter now. Or do you want to go deeper?
there was one of the things on the list. It was like from 80 lessons from this 80-year-old person.
Oh yeah. Huh.
One of the things was whistle.
What does that mean?
I
Like
think
just,
does that mean just have fun with life?
Yeah, just have
Just
fun.
enjoy.
Just enjoy life.
oh damn, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just whistle. If you have a tune, like as I'm listening to the song and I can just whistle the tune.
I told you listen. इसके लिए don't listen.
Rank the 3 whistlers.
Damn, listen.
But of course, ऐसे छेड़ो वेड़ो मत यार लोगों को. I guess that goes unsaid.
Rajveer sir is on a different form too.
It was all good until he said.
इतना अच्छा था वो short
Honestly, क्या perfect था भाई.
एक मिनट का शॉट बनता अभी ये डाल एंड का डाल
छेड़ो मत यार लोगों को.
What else?
Oh, there was this one. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. Only the present does.
The future like it's a different topic.
Even I was thinking
I
the
was
same
thinking
thing.
past, future, present simultaneously exist, but let it be. Not that discussion अभी.
अलग episode है वो.
वो तो time का तो अलग episode. अच्छा, what about this? At a younger age, like not at our age, but even younger, how important do you think is spending time with like having fun instead of like studying and grinding and all this, like making memories basically over working? How important is it for people to यार आज पढ़ते नहीं आज चल party करते हैं, but that party करते is also important. Do you guys believe, like how do you find the balance?
As you said, everything in moderation, right? You keep everything in moderation.
So how do you know what is moderation for you? Like suppose for you it could be like 70% work, 30% enjoying. For Rajveer it might be 90% work, 10% enjoying. For me it might be 50-50. So how does a person know what is his right balance?
I define it in terms of seasons. So this right now, this is a season of saying no to everyone.
Why is this a season of saying no to?
Doesn't like the seasons. I'm going to explain the season. So there will come one point in your life where you will have to say no to everyone, say no to parties, because you know you have to make something of your life. And then there are seasons where you can enjoy as well as doing work, and there are some seasons where you can completely enjoy. So I define it in terms of seasons.
Is it the age? Like, is it the...
No, it's seasons. Seasons is like okay. It depends on what. So it depends on what you define a season as.
what stage of life are you at?
For sure, yeah.
So in 11th, 12th, you'll say the
It
person
can also
shouldn't-
be 3 months. It can be 6 months. So there's monk mode. There's monk mode protocols.
Monk mode,
That's literally what a season of no is.
Hmm.
So right now, you just say no right now, so that you can say yes later.
But what if you just keep saying no and there is no later?
That's not good. That's definitely not good. So that's why I say that it's a season. The season will always have to end. It's not forever.
That's the thing, right? You know that concept of just you have one life type. Like you live, whatever you want to do it now. Don't push the like you constantly you're pushing all the fun, all the memories you could have. अरे नहीं आज trip पे नहीं आज काम करना है. So because you want to make more for later.
See, depends on what you define your fun as, right? Because
Fair.
yeah. So if you love what you do, what the fuck? You're not working a day in your life, right?
Fair.
But again, I understand the parties part. I understand totally. All right. So the last advice I think, which I'd like to give, if you guys want to give your closing speeches, but not even advice. It's just the last lesson which I'd like to give is something called Solomon's paradox. Have you guys heard of Solomon's paradox?
I've heard of it. I've even made a video about it,
Really?
but I don't remember.
So in little terms, it says, take your own advice. People love giving advice to others, which is what we're doing right now.
Who are these people?
But they in turn forget to take their own advices because they're very good at giving people other advice. But when it comes to implementing the same advices, they don't do it. So I think that kind of concludes in the end. It's a job for all three of us. It's a job for all three of us to take our own advice.
21 day challenge याद है?
Oh, don't remember. Make me remember.
Second day Apur wait
Yeah. You guys have any closing speeches?
I guess loosen up, relax, except for life and death moments. Nothing is as important as it first seems.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'd say मौत के बारे में सोचो
मौत के बारे में सोचो.
थोड़ा
Also, that makes me question you guys. क्या आप दोनों पूनम पांडे की मौत के बारे में सोचते हो?
Alright. So.
मालूम है कैसे करते हैं?
Sale. Yeah, so that was it. That was episode 9 of the Productive Procrastination podcast, and I hope you enjoyed and maybe you learned something new along the way. We all three of us learned 3 things, like things about each other we didn't know.
Yeah.
And a lot of lessons were shared, a lot of lessons were learned.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so keep listening. Feels a little weird, but yeah. Keep listening to the Productive
Procrastination.
Podcast.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
We're back.